Writing better console programs, formatting input and output in C++. Welcome back. From our previous lessons, you already know that we use cout to display information on the screen and syn to receive input from the keyboard. We've already used them in several of our C++ programs. Today's lesson is not about learning a new programming concept. Instead, we'll learn how to make our programs communicate more clearly with the user. We'll learn how to write better input prompts, organize our output, and use escape sequences to improve the appearance of our programs. These small improvements make our programs much easier to read, more user-friendly, and more enjoyable to use. Let's get started. Let's begin with a simple example. Suppose we have three integer variables named a, b, and c, containing the values 1, 2, and 3. Now let's display these values on the screen using cout. In each statement, we display a label followed by the value stored in one of the variables. Let's run the program and see what happens. Notice that none of the output statements tells the computer to move to the next line. As a result, all three values are displayed continuously on a single line. Although the program works correctly, the output is difficult to read. Let's improve it. One way to solve this problem is by using the new line escape sequence, written as \n. The backslash followed by the letter n tells the computer to move the cursor to the beginning of the next line. Let's add \n after the first two output statements. Now, let's run the program again. This time each value appears on its own line. The output is much cleaner and much easier to read. C++ also provides another way to move to the next line. It is called endl. Instead of using \n, we simply write endl at the end of the output statement. If we run the program again, we'll get exactly the same result. Both \n and endl move the cursor to the next line. Throughout this course, you can use either one. Sometimes we also want to leave an empty line between different sections of our program. This makes the output cleaner and easier to understand. In this example, we display a title first. Then we insert two new lines before displaying the first integer. Notice the blank line between the title and the information. This simple formatting makes the output look much more organized. The same result can also be achieved by writing endl twice. Another useful escape sequence is \t, which inserts a horizontal tab space. Here, we use it to separate two columns. When we run the program, the values line up neatly under their headings. Tabs are very useful whenever we want to display information in a simple table. Now let's look at another useful escape sequence. Normally, quotation marks tell C++ where a piece of text begins and ends, but sometimes we actually want quotation marks to appear on the screen. To do that, we place a backslash before each quotation mark. The backslash tells the compiler that the quotation marks are part of the output, not the end of the text. When we run the program, the quotation marks are displayed correctly. The backslash itself is also a special character. If we want to display a backslash, we simply write two backslashes. When the program runs, only a single backslash appears on the screen. Now let's talk about writing better input prompts. Suppose we write a program that simply waits for the user to enter two numbers. Although the program works correctly, the user doesn't know what information should be entered first. Now let's improve the program. Before each input statement, we display a short message telling the user exactly what to enter. For example, enter first number followed by enter second number. When we run this version of the program, the user receives clear instructions before entering each value. This makes the program much easier to use. If you remember, we used exactly this approach in our average calculator program. The program first asks the user to enter the required values before performing the calculation. Good input prompts make programs more user-friendly and reduce confusion. From our previous lessons, we already knew that cout displays information on the screen, and syn receives input from the keyboard. Today we learned how to use them more effectively. In the next lesson, we'll continue our journey by learning about constants, expressions, and basic operators, where we'll begin performing calculations and building more powerful C++ programs. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.